I love parades. Thanks, Monica. Great job. Do you love parades? Yes! And what a parade it was. Parades are at the center of Palm Sunday, as Monica so eloquently demonstrated. But this Sunday is also the beginning of Holy Week, the week we walk with Christ in his passion to the cross. So this is also noted as Passion Sunday in church circles. Last year on Palm Sunday, I preached about parades and stones. And today, although we've already experienced at least one or two parades, we will conclude in the Passion and ask ourselves, how did we get here? You know, in the Gospel of Luke, in chapter 18, there's a Pharisee praying in the temple, and we get to overhear his prayer, and he says, God, I thank you that I am not like these others, thieves, rogues, and adulterers, and even this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give a tenth of all my income. So we hear him and we say, surely this is a righteous man. Surely this is a good man. In 1 Samuel chapter 15, there's a portion of Saul's story way back in the Old Testament. By now he is the king. He's been anointed by the prophet Samuel, chosen by God to be the king over all of Israel. And then King Saul goes out in battle fighting for Israel. Surely we think, this is a good man. When I was in high school, a long time ago, two of my friends were Dee Dee and Karen. We all participated in a lot of stuff together. We were in youth groups together. We were in the marching band together. We were honor students. We had lots of classes together. Surely you would think, these girls are good people. They're good, nice girls. And then there is the story, certainly, of someone who was a very successful stockbroker and investment manager. He had built up his business on Wall Street, and many, many people counted on him to invest their precious savings wisely. After all, his family-run business had been around for 48 years. Surely, we think, this is a good man. We can trust him. Surely when you look in the bathroom mirror in the morning, you think, I too am a good man, good woman. Surely I don't live my life selfishly. We are good people, right? Yeah, we make the best decisions we can. I know we make mistakes, but doesn't everybody? By and large, we're good people, right? Well, the Pharisee in Luke 18 sure thought that. His list of accomplishments was long, but when push comes to shove, Jesus tells us clearly, the Pharisee is not the one who goes home justified. It is the tax collector. And in 1 Samuel, Saul may think he knows what's best and he's doing what is best, but the Lord had given Saul a very specific command, and Saul fudges just a bit. Samuel, the prophet, calls him on it, and God starts thinking, maybe Saul isn't up to this king thing. And my friends, Dee Dee and Karen, were good friends for a while, but then I heard them whispering behind my back. Rumors started flying. It was really uncomfortable walking the halls at high school. I didn't know who I could trust. And before I knew it, I had to find a new group of friends to hang around with, people I could trust. Oh, and that Wall Street financier, his name is Bernie Madoff. The admitted operator of a Ponzi scheme that's considered the largest financial fraud in U.S. history. He was sentenced to 150 years imprisonment and forfeiture of over $17 billion. Need I say more? Betrayal. It wounds us deeply because it begins in relationship. God, after all, trusted Saul to do what was necessary. I trusted my friends. Many people trusted Madoff with their pensions and savings. And today we have heard frame for frame what betrayal looks like. It begins in relationship with a family member, a loved one, a friend. Because relationships, you see, are built on trust and vulnerability. I trust you enough to hold this information that I am sharing with you, and you do the same for me. I am vulnerable and open to you, and you do the same. We get to know each other by sharing of who we are, layer upon layer, trusting one another not to use that information against us. We continue in our relationship, risking in our vulnerability as our commitment to one another grows. So the text for today shows that commitment to relationship. We hear Jesus is around the table with 12 of the closest people he has in his life. These 12 are ones who have lived with and laughed with and traveled with and struggled with him. All 12, including that one named for the tribe of Judah, the chosen tribe, Judas. He is in his person a good representative of the people of God, those to whom the Lord came and those who rejected him. Judas. Even this one, the one who will betray, has been included around the table, so close, even among the 12, to dip his bread in the same bowl as Jesus. So close, and yet so far. Even one this close is the one who will betray. How did we get here? It's fascinating to look at this text. Jesus tells his friends that he knows they will stumble. Just like he knows that Peter is going to deny him 3 times, he knows the rest of them are going to have issues as well. In fact, the term he used of stumble is skandalizo, if you care, in Greek. And it's used some 13 times by Matthew. He loves this word. And it means to stumble over or be offended. So we see again and again, not only Judas, but every single one of those around the table stumble at the prospect of a Christ who chooses to be crucified rather than retaliate. Jesus does not retaliate. But we stumble because we're human. So why betray? Well, why do any of us betray those we love? Well, perhaps we think we're doing the right thing, as King Saul thought, and not following God's commands, but doing what he thought, even though he was specifically commanded not to do that. Why do we betray? Perhaps we think we know what's best and what should be done. Perhaps we're tired of how things are going and want to push things forward. Perhaps Judas had had enough of extravagance. After all, Mary had just wasted a whole bunch of expensive perfume on Jesus. And maybe Judas wanted some of that extravagance for himself. Or perhaps he sort of believed maybe Jesus was who he said he was, Son of God kind of stuff. And so Judas acts to make Jesus be the Messiah that Judas wants him to be. Who knows? Who knows? We betray because we're selfish. We betray because things aren't going the way we want. We betray because we're greedy, like Madoff, or power hungry, like Saul, or we're jealous, like my friends, or we want to prove ourselves, or we want what we haven't got. One pastor wrote about a commercial from 2002. It was an anti-drug campaign commercial. And the voices say, I helped murder families in Colombia. It's just innocent fun when I buy drugs. I help kidnap people's dads. Hey, it's just some harmless fun. When I buy drugs, I help get a fake passport for a bomber. It's my life, it's my body. It's not like I'm hurting anybody else. Really? Really? We all, to use Pastor Craig Barnes' words, are afflicted with the Judas chromosome. We all have the ability, and most likely at one time or another, betray. You see, it's never, never only about you. My words, my actions, my choices, your words, your actions, your choices, they affect others. Always. Poet Anne Weems writes of our culpability in her poem, The Courtyard Scene. Over and over again, we sit in our courtyards, our mouths speaking what our hearts are full of. We do not know him. Do not know him, echoes loudly, emphatically, filling time and space, heaven and earth. And yet, the saddest part is, when the cock crows, we don't have the ears to hear. To hear. At least Peter had the ears to hear and the heart to weep. The betrayer Judas is not kept from the table, even though Jesus knows, and neither are we. Even as Jesus died on that cross at about the same time Judas died by his own hand, yet that same cross is for all of us, even Judas. That cross is for us, for Judas, for Peter, for all who fail Jesus time and again with our self-centered choices, our need to be right, to be powerful, to follow the crowd, to pad our pockets and savings at the expense of the hungry, the homeless, the refugee, the children. Jesus' passion and death is a powerful reminder that there is another way to live, that our God, who is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love, is waiting patiently for our ears to be opened, our hearts to be broken, ready to live in abundance. We have shouted our hosannas today on this Palm Sunday. The parade has obviously passed by. But now the words, "Crucify him," are on all our lips. So let us pray. Turn us, O God, away from such self-congratulatory attitudes. Turn us away from all that seeks to betray you, and turn us again to face your cross, fall on our knees, and once again remember we are yours, so that we can begin again in your grace. Amen.